Okay, so get this story. It honestly sounds like something straight from a movie script.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's this man, he has a book, and inside he's already written this really specific dedication to an Oscar-winning actress.
Already written. Before meeting her.
Exactly. Not like, oh, if I meet her, I'll write this, but like he knew it was going to happen. He called it a foregone conclusion.
Wow. Okay.
Then he gets this quiet whisper in his head telling him exactly where to be and when. A specific time, a specific place.
An intuitive hit.
Totally. And he listens. He goes out to this parking lot, waits, and just moments later, a car pulls up to the exact spot where he's standing.
No way.
And guess who gets out?
It has to be the actress.
The very same actress. He just hands her the book, the one with the dedication already inside, just like he pictured.
That's incredible.
Right. And for him, this wasn't just, random luck. He saw it as a real-life parking lot moment where this dream just became totally real.
And what's so fascinating about that, I think, is how that moment, which feels almost magical to someone hearing it, was seen by him as, well, the logical outcome.
Logical? How so?
As the direct result of really precise inner alignment and, crucially, taking that inspired action. It wasn't just wishing.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it? And that's exactly what we're diving into today. Our mission here is to unpack that incredible connection between intuition, having a really clear intention, and then actually doing something about it. We're going to look at how lining up what you know inside with what you do outside can seemingly, bend reality, make things happen that feel almost supernatural. And this story is our main case study.
Yeah, and for this deep dive, our main source is the personal account from the man himself, Hector Jesus Arencibia. It's from his work, Manifesting Reality, A Journey of Intuition and Alignment.
Okay.
We're also pulling details from the Mindvalley Manifesting Summit. This was back in 2025, which is where this whole thing happened. Mindvalley is a big name in personal growth, as you know.
Right, a major event.
Definitely. And we'll also touch on Hector's own book, his memoir, Letters from Wanderlust, because it connects deeply to the story.
Perfect. So let's start with Hector Jesus Arencibia, author of Letters from Wanderlust, founder of Universe Unveiled. He travels from Miami all the way out to LA for this Mindvalley Summit.
And he goes with this one, really clear, you could almost say audacious goal.
Which was?
To personally hand Gwyneth Paltrow, the Oscar-winning actress, a copy of his book.
Just like that, walk up and hand it to her.
That was the intention. And here's where that conviction piece really stands out. He didn't just hope it would happen.
The dedication.
Exactly. He wrote that personal dedication to her in the book before he even left Miami, basically.
Yeah.
He treated meeting her as, well, his words, a foregone conclusion.
That's a level of belief most people probably struggle with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it ties directly into a core manifesting principle,
Yeah.
Using visualization, but powering it with real elevated emotion.
Yeah.
You're essentially training your brain.
Training it how?
To expect success. You're making that desire feel less like a fantasy and more like, well, like a fact, like something that's already on its way. Your brain, specifically the reticular activating system, starts looking for evidence of it.
So he's literally prepping for something that hasn't happened, acting as if it's guaranteed.
That's
Yeah, that's powerful.
It really is.
Okay, so he's got the intention, he's got the belief, the book's ready. Then comes the intuition part.
Right. The turning point. Around 1 p.m. on the day, he gets this sudden, very quiet, intuitive whisper. Just a thought, really.
Saying what?
Go scan the parking lot around 3:30 p.m. Just like that. Very specific.
Wow, not vague at all.
No. And then, right on the dot, 3:33 p.m., he feels what he describes as the strongest urge to actually get up and leave his seat at the summit.
Even though the event was still going on.
Presumably. He mentioned having this inner dialogue, the doubting voice saying, "What are you doing? This is silly. Go back inside."
Oh, I know that voice. We all do, right? The logical mind kicking in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he chose to trust the other feeling, the gut feeling.
So he actually went.
He did. He walked out to the parking area, followed that nudge, despite the internal resistance. And then, moments later,
the car pulls up.
Gwyneth Paltrow's car pulls up, right to the exact spot where he happened to be standing.
That's just uncanny.
It really is. And that's when the vision met reality. He was able to just hand her the book, the one with the dedication. For Hector, this wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It was, in his view, intuition, inspired action, and inner knowing working in harmony.
And you mentioned his book, Letters from Wanderlust. It wasn't just any book, right? It had personal significance.
Huge significance. It's his memoir. It details this profound spiritual awakening he had, this intense experience that basically prompted him to ditch his whole life.
Ditch his life?
Yeah, he left a successful real estate career in Miami, bought one-way tickets, and just traveled the world, 5 continents.
Yeah.
All about finding his true self, finding wisdom.
Wow. So the book is about following that inner call.
Precisely. It's about faith, finding your purpose, listening to your heart, following the call of your soul. Very much like that intuitive whisper that led him to the parking lot.
So handing that specific book to Gwyneth Paltrow.
It felt like a full-circle affirmation for him. It validated the very principles he wrote about. And interestingly, Paltrow's own journey, shifting from acting to founding Goop, this big wellness company.
Right, a major pivot based on her passions.
Exactly. It resonates with Hector's themes of reinvention, of following your gut, living authentically. So it wasn't just handing a book to a celebrity. It felt like this deep, symbolic connection. Her story became part of his story in a way.
Okay, let's zoom out a bit then. This all happened at the Mindvalley Manifesting Summit 2025. Tell us about the event itself. What was the vibe?
Well, it was big. 2 days, held at Los Angeles Center Studios. Over 15,000 people were involved, both there in person and tuning in online.
15,000. Wow.
Yeah. People described it as this vortex of consciousness, celebrity, and collective elevation. It had this unique mix, deep spiritual ideas, but also, that Hollywood flair.
And the founder of Mindvalley, Vishen Lakhiani, he kicked things off.
He did. Day one, he was talking about how to essentially get lucky in life, but not random luck. Luck you create by, as he put it, bending reality through belief and aligned action.
Bending reality. That's a bold claim.
It is, but it's central to their philosophy.
And the star power, Gwyneth Paltrow, was the headline speaker.
She was a major draw. She did this really personal fireside chat with Vishen, and her presence there, I think, was significant.
How so?
Well, you have this major actress, founder of Goop, fully embracing these ideas of intuition and manifestation. Mindvalley highlighted her as someone who turned vision into reality through intuition, soul alignment, and unapologetic reinvention.
So kind of normalized it, made it less fringe.
Exactly. Her being there really signaled this cultural shift. Like, manifestation isn't this weird cringe thing anymore. It's becoming chic, it's embodied, it's even, boardroom ready in some circles. It added a layer of mainstream credibility.
Does she talk about her own experiences with this stuff?
Oh, absolutely. She talked openly about relying on her own intuition, about self-worth being key, and about having personal rituals she uses to manifest things with grace and grit.
Grace and grit. I like that.
Yeah, she stressed the balance. Grace being that sense of flow, trust, listening inward, and grit being the determination, the actual action you need to take.
Like with Goop, that didn't just happen by wishing.
Right. She talked about how Goop grew from basically a newsletter she started into this huge empire, largely driven by her trusting her gut instincts at key moments.
And her message to the audience.
It was really empowering.
Yeah.
Essentially, you are not at the mercy of circumstance. You can shape your life with intention. That was a core theme.
So the summit overall was reframing manifestation.
Definitely. Moving it away from just magical thinking and towards seeing it as, well, a practical discipline, almost an art form, really.
Yeah.
Fueled by, as they put it, science, intuition, and soul.
Okay, so let's connect this back directly to Hector's parking lot moment. How do these principles we've just discussed, intuition, alignment, inspired action mapped onto his experience?
Well, intuition is obviously huge here.
The whisper.
The whisper, exactly. The summit really emphasized intuition not just as some vague feeling, but as a genuine skill. A tool for decision-making, for recognizing opportunities.
And that nudge to go to the parking lot, that's the inspired action part.
Precisely. It's a key concept. Inspired actions aren't things you force yourself to do through sheer willpower or things that only make purely logical sense. They arise from that deeper inner urge, an impulse that feels aligned with where you want to go.
So it's less about grinding and more about flowing with these intuitive hits.
In a way, yes. Vishen Lakhiani actually predicted that by 2038, intuition training will be standard stuff, like in schools, in corporate training.
Seriously.
Yeah. He shared his own story. He used to be a computer engineer, very analytical. Skeptical even, but he learned to access what he called a meditative alpha state.
Alpha state, like relaxed but focused.
Exactly. And in that state, he could tap into subtler signals, intuitive feelings. It apparently revolutionized his sales approach, back when he was in that field.
How did that work?
Instead of just cold calling a list, he'd get into that relaxed state, run his finger down the names, and only call the ones that just felt right.
And did it work?
He claims it quadrupled his success rate because he was intuitively picking prospects who were actually more likely to buy.
Yeah.
It shows how acting on intuition can lead to results with way less struggle.
That's fascinating. And this connects to the idea of alignment causing less struggle, which you mentioned was a big theme.
Yes, this idea of energetic congruence. When your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, and your actions are all pointing in the same direction.
You're not fighting yourself internally.
Exactly. There's no internal friction. And the theory is that makes you like a magnet for opportunities. Things start flowing towards you rather than you having to chase everything down frantically.
And this alignment, they suggested, can even collapse time, make things happen faster.
That's the concept. By eliminating that internal resistance and having everything aligned, you accelerate the process. Outcomes manifest more quickly.
Okay, so applying all this to Hector, he had the clear intention, the unwavering belief.
Yeah.
He listened to the intuitive whisper.
Check. Took the inspired action, even with doubt present.
Right. And then the final piece, Gwyneth car pulling up right there.
That's the synchronicity. The external event perfectly mirroring the internal state and intention.
Carl Jung's idea again.
Exactly. Not just a random coincidence, but a meaningful convergence. The universe, or whatever you want to call it, responding to that aligned intention and action. It's like the external confirmation.
And that successful moment, actually handing her the book, that must have felt huge for him.
Immense. It reinforces everything. It builds confidence, creates that positive feedback loop Vishen talked about. It confirms that his whole journey, the one he wrote about in Letters from Wanderlust, is real and valid.
So if we boil this all down, what are the key takeaways for someone listening? From Hector's story, from the summit?
I think the biggest one is just how powerful intention and intuition really are when they work together. They're not just passive things, they actively shape your reality.
So step one is getting clear on the desire, the intention.
Crystal clear. Then cultivating that genuine belief, really feeling it, and then crucially, learning to tune into that inner guidance, that intuition.
And acting on it.
And acting on it. That combination primes you for opportunity. It puts you seemingly magically sometimes in the right place at the right time.
And it's not just about getting the thing, right? Like getting the meeting or the outcome.
No, that was a huge message from Mindvalley too. Manifesting isn't just about creating your dream life. It's about who you become in the process.
Also.
Well, look at Hector. In that moment, he became someone who trusted his intuition over his fear. He embodied that alignment he'd been seeking and writing about. The process changes you.
So again, it reframes manifestation. Not just wishful thinking or magic.
Right. But a discipline, maybe even an art. It involves your whole being, the science of belief, the intuition, the soul's calling, and then practical action. Listening inwardly, moving outwardly in sync.
It's a compelling way to look at it, especially in a world that prizes logic above all else sometimes.
Absolutely. Hector's story is this great reminder of that subtle, sometimes totally inexplicable power that comes from following that inner voice, even when it seems irrational.
So maybe the challenge for you listening is to start paying more attention.
Exactly. Notice those gut feelings, those vivid ideas that popped into your head, those persistent little nudges. Don't just dismiss them.
Consider what they might be pointing towards.
Yeah, because you just never know. It might lead to your own parking lot moment. Maybe not with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Probably not.
Probably not. But a moment where a dream you've really nurtured suddenly steps into reality, seemingly out of nowhere, but actually through perfect alignment.
It really drives home that message from Paltrow in the summit. We aren't just at the mercy of circumstance.
Not at all. With clear intention and by tuning into our intuition, we can absolutely become active co-creators in how our lives unfold. We have more agency than we often realize.